Capricorn, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will be from the 11th to the 18th of November, and I think I'm going to have to clarify quite a few cards for you. I've got a feeling the central issue, the central issue is the Seven of Swords, and right next to it, the outcome is the Moon card. Something wants to be revealed, okay? There's something going on here, something that's hidden that needs to be brought out into awareness, okay? I'm going to start right at the beginning. Now, what lies behind you is the King of Pentacles. So this could be an earth sign person, or this is about you. This is about the quality of earth, very steadfast. The difficult energy of the King of Pentacles is he is very, very inflexible, because there's a little bit of a paradox going on here. The King of Pentacles doesn't give much away. How I read this guy is he moves about twice a year. So you might be desiring new adventures, new potentials, sort of new growth here, but this King of Pentacles doesn't want to move. Very stubborn, very fixed energy here, which is a little bit of a paradox, so I'm going to have to keep shuffling. Now, the heart of the matter, or the gift, is the beautiful King of Cups. So this is either going to be a water sign person, or there's very deep emotions going on for something or someone. But maybe for some of yous, the energy is about expressing what's going on with that Moon card and the Seven of Swords. The King of Cups dips his toes in, okay, into the water. He doesn't completely submerge himself in an issue. So he keeps his throne, but he dips his toe in. And there's almost, for some Capricorns, you're considering communicating. You're considering going forward, revealing something, expressing something, and becoming a bit more fluid in your approach, okay? I am going to keep clarifying. Now, the challenge is the Four of Swords. So, and it's right under the Moon card. There's something, some Capricorns really want to isolate themselves, by the way, with these cards. There's three of them giving me that message. The gift is to begin to go forward, to express some very, very deep feelings that are going on for you. Or there's this person in your life that is the gift here, but there might be quite a lot of confusion. There's a lot of unspoken energy. And why is the Four of Swords the challenge? Give me a minute. The Four of Swords is a challenge because of the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about considering options, considering your future, considering your potential. If you look clearly, this guy's already picked up the wand. So I think most of you know exactly what you want here. The challenge is about expressing yourself. It's about communicating. Because that gift of the King of Cups here, I think there's some deep feelings going on, or either for someone else, or if there's been a rift, there's a desire to heal this rift. But for some of you, there's definitely a feeling of discontent, of wanting to move forward. But when you're working with the King of Pentacles behind you, you're working with someone who doesn't want to make changes. And even though you're desiring changes, even though a lot of your energy is probably going into a very submerged, quiet place, in order to consider your options. I think for most Capricorns, the biggest issues they have got going on is this wanting change, but not wanting to make the changes. Now, how others are showing up for you is the Devil card, okay, which is your card. The Devil card's got multiple meanings here. There might be a little bit of potential negativity in your relationships. You might feel your relationships are a little bit blocked, unable to move forward, because I've just clarified it with the Seven of Pentacles. So both of these cards talk about having to wait. That is not something that anyone really likes to hear. And probably that's where the Four of Swords is the challenge here. There's definitely an energy of feeling that something is blocking your path forward. That's not how I tend to read the Devil card, but it's how the cards work together that gives them their overall impression. There's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of ego and an awful lot of powerful energy, but there's an awful lot of resistance to moving forward, okay? Now, the central issue is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a gateway card. It can talk about something that needs to be discussed and talked about, and it's clarified with the Ace of Cups. And the King of Cups is your gift. There's an awful lot of pure love here. There's no other way to describe it. This is unconditional love. It's divine love. But for some Capricorns, you're not going forward and expressing that love, okay? Now, the Seven of Swords can be a negative in some ways because some of you are trying to, sometimes it's about trying to escape a situation. Maybe what you're trying to escape is this feeling of being a little bit stuck, being a little bit oppressed. And it's really not good energy to escape a situation, because when you're dealing with cards like the Devil or Capricorn and Saturn, the way that we overcome our difficulties is through authenticity. It's about being real, and that's when our life starts to get an awful lot more better, and it's when we start to grow into our power. There's something not being revealed with the Seven of Swords and the Moon card. Now, I'm not going to say, a lot of people would say deception. That's not how I read the cards. Sometimes it is. I cannot help getting a feeling because the Moon is a cycle that we all have to go into. And then we emerge in the Sun card. My overall impression here is there's an awful lot of deep love going on here. I think some of you really want to make change. You might feel quite stuck in a situation, particularly potentially around how others are showing up for you and your relationship world. But with that Seven of Swords and the Moon card, there's a feeling here of someone is not being straightforward. Now, because you rule an earth sign, the trick to earth signs are authenticity and straightforwardness. That's how we grow. That's how we grow spiritually. It's how we grow materially. It's how we grow in every direction. But there's something that's not been spoke about here. I can't help thinking it's to do with love. Some of you might want to go forward in a brand new start regarding your love life. I don't know what's happening in your career, but definitely emotionally something is pulling you forward, and some of you don't feel able to go there. There feels like there's delays, there's frustrations, or you're the one that's doing it to yourself here. And by not being straightforward, by not being authentic. We all fear being authentic because we all fear rejection, by the way. It's the universal fear. But I'm going to ask for an advice card for you. Don't tend to do this, but there's something very unusual happening here. And your advice is the Ace of Swords, which is absolutely. There's some truth that needs to be spoken. There's some clarity that needs to be had. This Ace is a gift that's been sent to you. Now, what we do with our gifts is up to us. We either keep deceiving ourselves, and we deceive ourselves by staying in situations that we're not happy in, or we stand up and we're straightforward and we're honest, and we use that sword to cut through crap and to tell the truth. Now, the irony is, when we start to do that, we grow in such spiritual power that our lives change enormously, because the universe won't meet us until we turn up and meet it. Your advice is to be clear-cut, to be straightforward, to come out of this energy of maybe wanting to escape a situation by avoiding it, about not being straightforward in dealing with something or someone, because there's a lot of love going on here, and there's also an awful lot of energy about not being straightforward, and that's not what you stand for. That's not what your sign is about. Your sign's about authenticity and straightforwardness, and that is what your advice here is. There's a lot of reflection, there's a lot of consideration going on here, and my advice to you, Capricorn, is to try and stand up and tell the truth, and then tell me what begins to happen. Because what happens is we become much more magical, and we start to get much more power, spiritual power, working on our behalf. And once we get that, we've basically mastered the world. Okay? Oh my gosh, you're my first reading, and I didn't expect it to be that deep and that profound, but it is. And I wish you really well, guys, and I'll be back next week. Loads of love. Bye.